Bill Maher's comments on cancel culture on the fucking.
Finally,
Oh,
new
here
rule.
we go. Here we go, dude. This is gonna be fucking devastating, dude. Not as devastating as like missing a portion of this fucking video because the ad break is coming at the top of the hour and you didn't subscribe or you didn't, use an ad block or a VPN, but still devastating. I'm gonna trigger myself super hard on this. Let's be real. I know that that's happening. Okay. But alas, folks, it is top of the fucking hour. You already know that. It's time for a 60-second ad break. You already know that too. Okay. And if you'd like to no longer see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe. You can do it for $5 or for free. It's Twitch Prime is free. Here's the ad break now.
Please don't make the Olympics into the Oscars. Oh, what's that? They did already? Yeah. You know, back in April when the Oscars aired, I commented in this space that the theme of that evening was, "We dare you to be entertained." Lest your mind waver for a few hours from thinking about the sad things and bad people in the world. Well, thank God we found some of those bad people in the Olympics now, and not a moment too soon. The director of... No, that was sarcasm. The director of the opening ceremony was fired hours before, before the event because they found out there was a Holocaust joke in a comedy routine he did decades ago. Well, you know, context is everything. Obviously, it didn't strike people as beyond the pale at the time. Young people have to stop flattering themselves that they're Nostradamus and would have foreseen, had they been around then, everything that's unacceptable now. And for further context, Mel Brooks wrote one of the most successful musicals of all time around the song Springtime for Hitler. Why do we allow the people who just want to bitch to always win? Days before that firing, the opening ceremony's musical director was also forced out because...
I don't even know what dude, this is such a, he's still doing cancel culture shit. Okay, first of all, I think we got to do a fucking statute of limitations for shit that people have said in the past. Okay? It's like, look, you're going to get fucking mad, but like, I don't care. I don't care if the ceremony director, I mean, it depends on what they said, okay? If they're outed as like literally a fucking Nazi, then yeah, if they get fired, yeah, boo-hoo. Okay? Like, it's entirely, but in most circumstances, though, it's never like someone made like a fucking shitty Holocaust joke like 20 years ago and now they're getting fired for it. In most circumstances, it's like, this is personally incredibly fucking biased, depending on what your position is. Statute of limitation because that would include you. What? Dude, you are such a fucking idiot, dude. You are literally the dumbest fucking baboon in this chat. How many times have I fucking talked about it? I don't give a fuck, dipshit. I've said horrible fucking things, okay? I've talked about it a million fucking times. It's about who you are now and what you represent now. Yeah, just fuck you, dude. 9 month subscribers. Suck my cock, dumb fuck. Eat shit. Seriously. Fucking leave this goddamn community, dude. I hate this. Like, it's not fucking funny. It's not. It's so fucking stupid. You're such a fucking moron, dude. You're such a fucking moron. I despise you, okay? I really do. I despise people that do shit like this. You're a fucking piece of shit. Okay? Kobayashi director is shown cutting up paper figures of human beings while talking about coming up with a Let's Massacre Jewish People game in the skit. Jesus Christ. Anyway, like like I said, there should be like a fucking statute of limitations that also features like what your position is now. You know what I mean? Like having that carry for the rest of the fucking world, especially for like comedy bits and shit where, you know, you're trying to be a rudest streamer. Really? I'm the rudest streamer? Hey, jackass, how do you feel about fucking cancel culture? Like, oh, you hate it, right? But then, you know, the woke lords that want to fucking keep that energy going, that, you know, make life a shittier fucking place and act like redemption isn't possible or rehabilitation isn't fucking possible. You hate those guys, right? But when I tell them to fucking eat shit, you're so conflicted because of your own, you're blinded by your own fucking self-hatred for me that you literally are blinded by your own fucking hatred for me that you're like confused when I make a point about dumbasses who want to extend that like nonstop idiotic approach that fucking wants to, you know, be a piece of shit. EFAP wants to know where you would be without TYT. Who the fuck is EFAP, dude? Like, what the fuck is EFAP? Why don't you fap to some bitches, dude? Get the fuck out of here. What the fuck? What is this? What? Do you like, dude? Yeah, my mom has some comments about you, dude. Any care to elaborate? Oh, dude, you fucking owned me. It's just like you're making it so much worse than it has to be. Anyway. Every frame of something, they were on with JXC when they were cloud chasing you. Okay, good, dude. Look, I'm sorry for fucking not reacting hard enough to this person's fucking video. I will never watch another video of theirs again. And I won't watch any of the fucking, whatever. Any of the other videos that any of the other people in that group have ever made. Okay? Jesus Christ. Spent 20 hours watching your vid since, but that's not stealing to them. I don't care. You can watch all my videos. I literally don't care. Also, suck my cock. Like, Jesus Christ, dude. People that literally fucking make like reaction content on YouTube being like, dude, you're not reacting hard enough to my video. Like, yeah, you're right. You're actually right. I wasn't reacting hard enough. I'm sorry. Okay, I will never do that again. What is this? Explain this? Oh, we'll look at this in a second. It's probably on LSF. It's like fucking 80,000 views on it. I would just want to have a fucking chill stream.
Holocaust joke in a comedy routine he did decades ago. Well, you know, context is everything. Obviously, it didn't strike people as beyond the pale at the time. Young people have to stop flattering themselves that they're Nostradamus and would have foreseen, had they been around then, everything that's unacceptable now. And for further context, Mel Brooks wrote one of the most successful musicals of all time.
I mean, dude, like I said, I don't disagree. Like, I think no matter how fucking horrible, I mean, obviously there's exceptions, but like, if someone was doing a fucking comedy sketch and it was fucked up, but it was like in 1998, you're like insane. He's also being annoying by comparing it to Mel Brooks, who's literally fucking Jewish himself. Okay, like I don't know why he's like. I mean, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. Like Mel Brooks is like, I assume. Okay, I don't know, but I mean, this dude was born in 1926. Like, He probably knows some people who survived the fucking Holocaust, okay? At that point, you're literally allowed to fucking do whatever kind of Hitler jokes you want to do. I don't know why people just like rob everything of their context. What if this white guy said the N-word? Well, so did Snoop Dogg back in the day. Yeah, but my take is that, like, if that fucking white guy that said the N-word in 1998 is no longer racist, then, like, why the fuck are we still like, oh, dude, we gotta fire this guy? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Yeah. So Bill Maher is shockingly fucking stupid for making a comparison between like some random dude making fun of like people that died in the Holocaust, the victims, versus someone who is Jewish himself, who was satirizing and making fun of Hitler. Okay, so that's like an idiotic fucking comparison. What he should be doing instead is just being like, why the fuck do we care about shit that people said in 1998, especially if they're no longer, you know, of that same mindset? Like, that's insane. Okay. How do you know he stopped being racist? I don't know. Perhaps it has something to do with 1998. You know, if you're like, we're fucking firing you for something you did in 1998, then you probably couldn't find other things to fire them over in 2018. You know what I mean? Is that unrealistic of me to make that assumption? I haven't even seen the fucking actual like other shit. Half of my fucking community wasn't even born in 1998, dude. What the fuck?
Around the song Springtime for Hitler. Why do we allow the people who just want to bitch to always win?
Here's the skit he was
Days
fired
before
for.
that firing, the opening ceremony's musical director was also forced out because someone dug up an interview with him from 1994 where he admitted to bullying classmates as a child. As a child. Remember when your teacher used to try and scare you by saying, this is going to go on your permanent record? Yeah. No longer an empty threat now. And the creative director of the entire shebang, of the whole Olympics, got shit-canned because he once made a fat joke in a private conversation. This is called a purge. It's a mentality that belongs.
What the fuck? Okay, let me just say something. The real reason why all this shit's popping off is because people were mad that the Olympics was happening in the middle of fucking COVID, okay? The Olympics, for those of you who haven't been paying attention, were incredibly divisive in Japan. Like, a gigantic chunk of the Japanese people were very frustrated and very upset with bringing the Olympics to Japan in the middle of fucking, COVID. Okay? Like 80% or something. Like, something crazy. Doctors were like, fuck no, you can't do this. So, because they weren't able to change what was going on, and because capital owners were like, yeah, fuck off, we're going to make a lot of money, you know, suck my dick, then they started hyper-focusing on individuals in positions of power and utilizing cancel culture or whatever to, you know, get them fired and shit. Okay? It's yet another instance of, like, not being able to tackle a systemic problem and then turning your efforts into areas where you can make change. Okay? When in fact, like, the real issue still is going on. You completely downplayed the bullying part. The composer made a kid eat shit and force another jerk in front of him. What the fuck? Ew, dude. What? Okay, that's a little different. Why do they do stuff like this? Composer bullying. Who? How do you guys know all the details of like every person that ever gets fired anywhere? It's like kind of crazy. I feel like motherfuckers are out here just like paying attention to anyone. Anytime anyone ever gets fired, it's like beep, 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 beep. I just gotta ping another new person got fired for cancel culture. Like what the fuck? Oh my god. Failing to vet, the Olympics organizers pulled Keigo Oyamada, who was used for both the opening and closing ceremonies, and are now scrambling to find a replacement. Oyamada, whose stage name is Cornelius, resigned Monday after coming under fire for bullying classmates, including forcing a child with a mental disability to eat feces and masturbate in front of other classmates. Jesus Christ. Oyamada had unapologetically described the incidents to a local magazine in the 1990s, and his interviews resurfaced after he was named composer. Responsibility lies with me. Bro, okay, that's a crime. Like, I don't know if that's just like Japan, but that's like many crimes, okay? Like a lot of crimes. That's gross, dude. What the fuck? No, that's not the director. I'm saying that like the director said Olympics or something like that. But this is like some fucking psycho shit, dude. Like saying he just got fired for bullying a kid when he was a kid is like, you know, why didn't Bill Maher bring the other details up? Especially when it's like, it's not that he was just a kid, but even later he like, it's a self-report. Like he literally got fucking canceled now because he talked about it in the 90s and never like turned around and was like, this is actually a bad thing that I did. You know what I mean? If there was like an apology in 94, I'd be like, yeah, what the fuck are you guys doing? Like this was a kid. He fucking grew up. He learned about it. Like he learned from it, whatever. You know what I mean? But if he's like gloating about it and is like never actually said like, this was fucking horrible. I was a monster when I was a child and I did like some monstrous shit. And instead he was proud of it, then it kind of fucking makes sense to, you know. Yeah, Bill Maher does this all the time. It's like a classic thing that he does. Kids in Japan have decapitated classmates' heads and gone away with it. What? Okay, I feel like that's made up. I'm getting massive deja vu because I think we covered the same issue around 1 year ago. No, it was the exact same issue, and it was also with Bill Maher downplaying it. But this is a new issue.
Belongs in Stalin's Russia. How bad does this atmosphere we are living in have to get before the people who say cancel culture is overblown admit that is in fact an insanity that is swallowing up the world? Where did we get this crowd?
Sadly not made up. What the fuck?
I'm back, not the audience. I'm back. They're still. And that is not a conservative position, my friends. My politics have not changed, but I am reacting to politics that have. And this is yet another example of how the woke...
Dude, he's so annoying. He's just like so self-indulgent and like... I hate watching a boomer jerk off on camera like this. You know what I mean? This crusty ass fucking alcoholic ass boomer just fucking sitting there with his puffy ass fucking face. Just like, oh God, cancel culture is so bad. And I'm taking a brave stance against it with my 6-figure salary where I like, you know, bully fucking writers and producers to write the same joke over and over again. And basically just rely on older liberals not giving a fuck and not understanding how the world is changing. I'm Bill Maher. I don't need to understand the world. It doesn't fucking matter. I did Religulous, by the way. Okay? It's just like, dude, it's just, have you tried being funny for once in your fucking life, dude? Jesus Christ. Cancel culture. Ugh. Ugh, just give up, dude. Anyway, I can't believe, like, bro, I can't believe even when I agree with, like, the energy, not the energy, but, like, even if I agree with a take that he has about, like, firing someone for doing, like, a fucking insane, or firing someone for, like, doing a fucking Holocaust bit in 1998, which I find to be, like, ridiculous, especially if that's the last fucking piece of evidence you can find that someone's, like, anti-Semitic, then, like, yeah, that's ridiculous. There should be, like, a statute of limitation for shit like this. I swear to God. But even then, I'm, like, so annoyed because it's like, dude, the way he fucking talks about these issues is so stupid. The point is, context matters. Okay? Context matters in all of these situations. Like, there's obviously instances where every single person is like, yeah, fuck that, cancel that person. Okay? I always go back to the same subject. I always go back to Tucker Carlson's, like, head writer. Remember when he got canceled and fired? Why the fuck did no one defend him? Why? Because he was a fucking racist. Like, he was just straight up saying, like, you know, black doctors are worse than, you know, white doctors. He was saying shit like that. And everyone's like, okay, that's racist. You know what I mean? The fact that we didn't cancel you over your Lady Gaga joke is a testament to cancel culture not existing. You're a fucking idiot, dude. You're literally fucking dumb. God, just like, I just, fuck you, dude. With a winky face, too. Dumb motherfucker. Like, was fucking sending me a stupid winky face. I'm just gonna ban out people over and over again today, I think. Like, why are you such an asshole to chat? Maybe you don't understand the context of why I'm banning fucking so many 19-month subscribers today. Just chill, okay? If you don't get it, if you're new in the community, just, you know, just sit back and you'll recognize it. Is he wrong about the black doctor thing, though? Yes.
Invert the very thing that used to make liberals liberals. Snitches and bitches, that's not being liberal.
Dude, when was liberalism not about, you know, progress and trying to, you know, trying to make the public spaces more safe for marginalized groups? Like, the Bill Maher in 1960s would be like, man, this principal got fired for making a joke. It's so unacceptable. All he said was N-words shouldn't be around whites in our schools. What's the big deal? I thought liberalism was about abolishing slavery. What the fuck? Like, dude, you're just like, you're ridiculous. Like, what the fuck do you mean? Like, you know, times change and people progressively want to, you know, make it easier for marginalized people to survive in public and have equal rights and equal opportunities.
The Associated Press is a real news organization, yeah? So why am I reading this headline? Olympic surfing exposes whitewashed native Hawaiian roots. Yeah, the Olympics added surfing this year. Good. Surfers deserve to be recognized as athletes. I'm sorry. What I meant to say is, no, that's cultural appropriation.
What?
The AP says that for Hawaiians, probably all two of them, including surfing in the Olympics, is an extension of the racial indignity seared into the history of the game and their homeland when white outsiders took over their spiritual art form. Or just people having fun in the ocean.
What? What the fuck? Does he think like Aren't there a fuckload of Hawaiian pro surfers? Like, this is so weird. Dude, someone said it's like Bill Maher's like Wendy Williams. You're so right. Bill Maher is Wendy Williams for like college educated liberals that are super out of touch. You know how like Wendy Williams is Wendy Williams for like wine moms all around the country? Yeah, Bill Maher is the white version of that for fucking like a very specific type of annoying, like, haha, I'm actually socially progressive but fiscally very conservative, but also I kind of hate that these like these marginalized groups are getting real uppity. Like that's the type of dude that loves wine dads, okay? Bill Maher's a Wendy Williams for wine dads.
I must say, of all the violations of the woke penal code, cultural appropriation just might be the dumbest of all. First of all, there are 25,000 islands in the Pacific. How do we know a Hawaiian was the first to stand on a board in the water? It seems like something anyone in any ocean would eventually get around to. And if you're a surfer, it doesn't matter if you're black, white, or in between. You all taste the same to sharks.
I feel like getting upset at this, Associated Press article is significantly more whack than an Associated Press, like a random Associated Press article. They fucking put out like 1,000 a day. An Associated Press article that like offers additional context to like, I don't know what happened in like fucking Hawaii with respect to like surf culture. It's so weird. It's such a fucking weird thing to just be mad about. It's like, who cares, dude? Like, who cares? Why are you so mad? Like, why the fuck are you so mad about this, dude? Like, what are they doing? Is the Associated Press like trying to go out and be like cancel surfing? Are there people who are like, dude, we literally need to ban whites from surfing because it's Hawaiian, like indigenous Hawaiian. It's an indigenous Hawaiian sport. Like, is that what's going on? Is that what people are advocating for? Is there a big movement out here that I'm unaware of, where people are just like fucking losing? Don't say yes. Look at all the fucking non-subs saying yes. Okay, that's not real. Not a single person is saying that. Why are you saying yes, dude? Shut the fuck up. You literally invent shit. You invent shit in your head, dude. What you're doing is no different than what liberals do on a daily basis, like rad libs that fucking get mad at hypotheticals, okay? You are creating a false situation, like a delusion. You're operating on a delusion. You have created a situation that does not exist, and now you're getting mad at that hypothetical situation, dude. You're getting mad at the thing you just made up. Okay? I'm sorry. I'm literally shifting into a dimension where this is a very real problem, and there's a massive there's a massive fucking movement about canceling surfing for whites. You just did that. You just shifted into that reality. Let me just like put it in fucking Zoomer speak so you understand. It's actually a great article about the history of surfing as a religious practice in Hawaii, and has made me appreciate the sport more. The real dumb thing is how every title needs to be dumb as hell to get clicks. Like, who gives a fuck? I think he's just calling out people, calling out cultural appropriation. But like, but they're not. Like, I'm willing to bet if I looked at that fucking Associated Press article, it's probably just offering historical context to like the spiritual roots of surfing in Hawaii, okay? And probably a bunch of stuff about how like we literally took over Hawaii and made it a part of America and fucked over the indigenous population there. Like, which is all historically true, okay? It's all real things that happened. So that's most likely what the article is. But Bill Maher's over here like, people are saying it's cultural appropriation. I'm so mad. It's like, why? Well, why are you mad that, like, you know, why can't you just be like, wow, this was a cool article. I was educated. You're just basically triggered. You're triggered about the way this title was written. You read the title and you got mad, and now you're making a fucking argument about it. For some native Hawaiians, surfing's Olympic debut is both a celebration of cultural touchstone invented by their ancestors and is an extension of the racial indignity seared into the history of the game and their homeland. You had native Hawaiians in the background being a part of the development of it and just not being really recognized, said Isaiah Helakunihi Walker, a Hawaii historian and activist. There's an element of them taking over, and that's when there's no more aloha. The indigenous people of Hawaii traditionally view the act of stylishly riding ocean waves on a board for fun and competition as a spiritual art form and an egalitarian national pastime that connected them to the land and sea. While European settlers who first learned of the sport when they arrived at the island both vilified and capitalized on the sport. Christian missionaries disapproved of the nudity on display, yet white businessmen later ran a whites-only surf club on Waikiki Beach. Wow! Look at that, dude. That's so crazy. That never happens. Oh, wait, that literally still happens to this day. And that's precisely what they're doing, okay? That's what this article goes to show you is a typical fucking colonizer asshat behavior. And instead of celebrating a local culture and like fucking uplifting people, you vilify it at first and then you take it on as your own and you do culture vulture shit. Yeah, I know. Myth got COVID. I'm talking to him. He'll be all right. He's vaxxed, baby. He's vaxxed up. Today, white people are still seen as the leaders and authorities on the sport globally, as the surfing's evolution is now a legacy shaped by white perspectives, from practically native Hawaiian birthright to censured water activity in California counterculture symbol to the global professional sports league. Imagine if the Hollywood version of yoga became an Olympic sport and by default overshadowed its roots in India, whitewashing the original culture flavor into the white Californian trope. Dude, I could see that happening. So yeah, and then it goes on to offer historical context about the fucking roots of how indigenous Hawaiians came up with the sport, and then it probably will show like how white people modified it, okay, while also, you know, pushing Hawaiian people out of the sport and only to reincorporate them later, and then you know, and how it got to the Olympics and why there aren't, like, I guess, that many indigenous Hawaiians who are surfing, okay, or competing in the Olympics. So that's it. That's the entire article. It's just like giving you historical context about it. I don't know why the fuck you personally feel upset every time something gets brought up about what some fucking dumbass colonizer white people did, like, you know, 60 to 100 years ago. Why are you getting upset now personally and like trying to defend them? What the fuck is wrong with you? Okay? It makes no sense. It doesn't make sense. You become an asshole only when you start defending or only when you start shitting on this stuff. It's just someone like, this is just lib CRT reactionary shit. It's like just people, it's just like people fucking describing something that happened in history. It's like otherwise just a fucking innocuous, random fucking article. And you chose to get upset about it. And the reason why you chose to get upset about it is because you want to turn this into a fucking larger point that does not exist.
But let's say a Hawaiian did invent surfing. Should he or she have kept it to themselves? Most of human history is a horror story, but the good parts are about different groups coming together and sharing. It's sort of the whole...
I've just like never agreed with someone while hating them so much. That's the Bill Maher story. Is like, it's like, I know he's coming at the problem from like a completely wrong perspective. You know what I mean? Like, if he wasn't such a fucking asshole, I would probably, I could see myself agreeing with him. Like, I could just be like, who cares? Good article. Like, you know, coming together equals colonizing. No, but like, trade, no matter how unethical, war, obviously horrifying, and numerous other horrible things that human beings have done are responsible for the culture that we have today, okay? Cultures not exist in a fucking vacuum. So I understand that. We have a shared culture, okay? We have advanced together as mankind. Recognizing the fucking wrongs of the past and trying to right them is important, okay? White people didn't come together with anyone they murdered. Okay, but like, if we're talking about like people now, doing shit, like, yeah, cultural assimilation or cultural appreciation is a part of like living in a fucking globalized planet. You know what I mean? So yeah, guess what? It's gonna happen, and it's also a beautiful thing. I don't give a fuck. It's just the truth, okay? Like, it's a good thing. You can appreciate having potatoes and spices in your modern life while recognizing the atrocities of the past. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And the people that would like actually make the people that would like actually make a bigger deal out of this and like fucking screech, and that's not what this AP article was doing anyway. The people that would screech, you just got to be like, dude, look, I'm sorry. Like, you're losing your mind over some shit. Like, ultimately, it's not a bad thing. It's not. Okay? It's not. It's not a bad thing. Good thing. You know? I love Taco Bell. Sorry. I fucking do. All right? I do. I think like Americanized versions of like local cuisines often are pretty delicious. Sorry, it's just the truth. Get mad all you want. I'm gonna fucking eat it. You can't stop me.
Point of the Olympics, which itself comes from Greece, where wrestling was invented as a way for completely heterosexual men to get to know each other. Badminton has roots in India. Tennis comes from France. Skiing from Scandinavia and Taekwondo from Korea. Judo was appropriated from the Far East and skateboarding from the far out. What is this new rule that the first thing to do, that the first to do something, are the only ones who get to have it? Jewish people spent most of their history wandering, but when they see other people milling around, they don't say, can you not? That's sort of our thing. You know, change is not synonymous with progress. Newer doesn't automatically mean better. This new idea that each culture must remain in its own separate silo is not better, and it's not progress. And in fact, it's messing with one of the few ideas that still really does make this melting pot called America great. Not everything is about oppression. Stealing natural resources from indigenous peoples, yes, of course, that is exploitation. But I swear not one Beach Boys song resulted in any Hawaiian having less waves to surf.
Literally all Hawaii wanted was our flag represented in just the surfing part of the Olympics. That's it. That's so fucked up. Like, it's so insanely fucked up to not do that. There was a Hawaiian Kingdom team that wanted to compete under the Hawaiian flag and was ignored by the Olympic Committee. That's like insane, dude. It's just like, it's so fucked up. Why? Like, why can't you do that? Lol, Hawaii's America. But like, dude, first of all, Hawaii's not just America, okay? It's literally conquered land. So like, offer people that opportunity. Like, it's so stupid. It's just a fucking... People think that like Hawaii was, is always America, I guess. I mean, Yeah. When we're talking about conquered land, like all of America is conquered land. Yeah. It's true.
Not one African record buyer stopped purchasing local music after Paul Simon made Graceland. But lots of white buyers in America were turned on to and then bought African music. And today, Korean boy bands make Western-style music. You don't get to #1 singing this. And that's the great thing about cultural mixing. It makes things better for everyone. BTS can be a hit in America, and I can get kimchi on a taco. Isn't that better than everyone walling itself off from outsiders? I thought walls were supposed to be bad.
That's actually racist. It really is. Bro, you could literally do that with everything, dude. You just pulled out... You just pulled out some fucking random, like, I don't even know what the fuck that was, but it's not funny. I'm not laughing at this racist joke that he made. Bro, it's fucking hilarious that this dumbass just first and foremost was just like like he just thought this was such a profound point. Like who the fuck thinks this is a good argument, dude? I mean, okay, but it's also funny. It's like it is. That's traditional Korean music, though. Yeah, dude, traditional music. It doesn't matter if it's fucking Korean or whatever culture it is garbage from today's like palette. Okay, everywhere. Like you play fucking traditional Turkish music. It's just like I'm gonna laugh at it if you bring that as a what do you call it? As a fucking example of like this is what represents Turkish music in its entirety. Like. Yeah, it's it's just funny that he did that. It is funny. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh God, I have a headache. That was pretty good. He went and he fucking looked to find like basically the worst clip he could. Garbage for the uncultured swine, yes. Bro, it's music, dude. It is completely fucking subjective, okay? You're ridiculous. Oh my God, I have a headache. Speak for Turkish, traditional Irish, and English songs are dope. What the fuck? You think a deeper hole. Now you're saying all cultures are trash. I said from today's palette, because you know we have different. We have a completely different way of consuming culture. And today's palette was influenced by America. Not just America, but there's a key component there that we're missing. Today's palette was like mostly fucking influenced by black people. Like that's where the palette comes from. African Americans, black Americans, like a gigantic chunk of that. Bill's argument is true, though. Multiculturalism is good. Yes, it is good. I love multiculturalism. I myself am a product of multiculturalism. Okay? The point is not recognizing that, like, for example, he played that fucking, old Korean thing, right? Whatever this was, this whatever was going on here. Like, I don't know enough about Korean music or music history in general, but I'm willing to bet that, like, some of these percussion elements or even, like, the fucking stringed instruments that came from, like, Asian cultures have played a role in, in building out the foundation for fucking what we recognize as Western music. That's Japanese behind them? Oh, dude, but this is Korean, though, no? That's not Japanese. It's Korean, isn't it? Up here? Yeah, that could be part of a variety show. Meant to be a funny bit. Yeah. Oh, this guy's so funny. Rare Earth. He's Korean. Who's say Japanese? So, I don't know if people are like, dude, fucking, I can't believe this. Like, keep music to its roots. Like, I don't think people argue for that. I think they just mean, like, appreciate the roots of where this music came from. Does that make sense? Do you guys understand? I mean, that's what people, when they talk about multiculturalism, people aren't, like, unironically making ethnocentrist arguments, or those who are, those who are doing it from the left are fucking delusional and don't take them seriously, please. Holy fuck. For the most part, people just talk about, like, cultural heritage and appreciating and learning more about the background of how that current iteration of music came to be.
And that's the great thing about cultural mixing. It makes things better for everyone. BTS can be a hit in America, and I can get kimchi on a taco. Isn't that better than everyone?
Ew, dude. Why the fuck did you... Bro, come on, bro. BTS... How are you going to make a comparison between BTS and fucking kimchi on taco? One is like... they're fucking crushing it. Kimchi on taco is awful. And should be made illegal, dude. Some things should not be mixed, okay? There's, like, cuisines that just do not work with one another. I'm sorry. You guys know this. Welcome back to the Food Fascist channel. For those of you who don't know, yes, I think certain fusion is unacceptable. You guys know this? I have, like, literally authoritarian fucking reactionary takes on food.
Walling itself off from outsiders? I thought walls were supposed to be bad. But we're living now in a world where straight actors are told they can't play gay roles, and white novelists aren't allowed to imagine what it would be like to be a Mexican immigrant, even though trying to inhabit the life of someone else is almost the very definition of empathy, the bedrock of liberalism. And by the way...
Wait, what the fuck? Does he not understand the difference between empathy and, like, literally fucking making money off of the plight of others that you have probably not even been able to correctly and accurately depict? What? That's not empathy. What the fuck kind of take is that? And, like, nobody's saying you can't do that, but, like, you can make fun of that. empathy is not. Some chatter already pointed this out as well, but like empathy is not like the fetishization of a marginalized group, dog. What the fuck? For your own personal wealth and benefit too. There's gay actors, let them get roles, dude. Okay, here's how you know Bill Maher's a gigantic fucking boomer. Okay, he said straight actors playing gay roles, dude. You've been in Hollywood for like 7 million years, dude. Who the fuck is straight, dog? The fuck are you talking about, dude? Like, that's the... Literally every fucking actor is gay, dude. What does this take? Like, that's how you know he's a boomer. It's like he's still living in fucking the 60s in his mind. Where he just like... He still thinks like, you know, this is what's going on. Which is part of the reason why you kind of don't hear about that from the point of view of like, I can't believe a fucking straight actor is playing a gay role or whatever. But you usually hear it about trans actors or rather, you know, roles that are, you know, for trans people or roles that are for gay people. These are communities that are oftentimes still underrepresented in Hollywood. And that's the argument for the most part, is that like there would be better representation if there was like a personal experience that was incorporated into the role itself. I personally go back and forth on it. Like, I feel like Scarlett Johansson is my red line. You know what I mean? Like, like Scarlett Johansson playing a role like that. I'm like, come on, dude, really? Like, what the fuck? Wait, is everyone gay in Hollywood or are they underrepresented? I'm making a joke, but like a lot of people in Hollywood are fucking bi. They're very liberal. They're very open-minded. At least like bi-curious. You know what I mean? That's why I was like making a joke about that.
If anyone deserves to bitch about stealing in the Olympics, it's the horses in the equestrian events who have to watch humans get medals for everything they do.
Wow, he came for the horse girls. Fuck you, dude. Too far. Literally went entirely too far. Boys, we're back.